India's blockbuster Prime Minister is gearing up for another election. Narendra Modi is widely popular, both in India and overseas. He gets a rock-star welcome when he goes abroad, largely thanks to a massive Indian diaspora.
Prime Minister Modi is the boss!
Narendra Modi, au nom de la République française, nous vous élevons à la dignité de grand croix de la Légion d'honneur.
But there's no shortage of critics.
That's the signature statement of this Modi government. Democracy is being assassinated.
ये चुनाव वोट वाला चुनाव नहीं है, ये चुनाव हिंदुस्तान को बचाने वाला चुनाव है, संविधान की रक्षा वाला चुनाव है.
No matter where you land on Modi, he cannot be ignored. This year, the 73-year-old Prime Minister is gunning for a third term in office, and surveys say he is in pole position. This is the world's largest democracy and the most populous country on earth, with almost 1 billion voters. So, what would another 5 years of Mr. Modi's BJP government mean for India's 1.4 billion people? And can the opposition mount a defence? We'll find out when India votes in 2024. And welcome to this special series on the Indian election. I'm Hannah Joes, and over the next 6 weeks, we'll take you beyond the bluster to look at the issues that matter to Indian voters. Nearly 1 billion people are eligible to vote in this election. So let's take a look at how the world's largest democracy goes through the process. As you can imagine, elections in India are always big, whether it's national or state. The country routinely holds the largest democratic exercise on earth. And this year, like the last few, it's the biggest it's ever been. 15 million more people have been added to the voter registry than 5 years ago. And this year, more than 1,000 candidates are likely to run, and they're all vying for one of 543 seats in India's parliament. They'll be clamouring for the votes of around 1 billion citizens. And that's including a huge number of youth voters. In fact, around 17 million young Indians will have the right to vote for the very first time.
You should go and vote, and that is my request to all the youngsters.
From cricketers to film stars, politicians to celebrities, when it's time to vote, millions of Indians turn out. Now, voting in India is not compulsory. But in the last election in 2019, voter turnout was 67%. That's the highest ever in Indian history. There is no doubt that most of the seats will be hotly contested in a first-past-the-post system. And what that means is that the candidate with the most number of votes in each constituency is the winner. So how does a country this huge go about collecting and protecting its votes? Well, because of the crush of numbers, Indian elections are held in phases. Voters across the country will head to the booths at staggered intervals. And this year, there will be 7 phases, starting from April 19th and ending on the 1st of June. The votes will then be counted, and the results are expected to be announced on the 4th of June.
We are committed to give the nation a truly festive democratic environment.
Now, this election is an enormous exercise. So how does the Election Commission of India collect these votes? Well, firstly, they will employ 15 million poll workers. Yeah, that's right, 15 million. That is almost the entire population of New York and London combined. They'll be deployed across 1 million polling booths right across the country. And to help with this gargantuan task, India is one of the few countries that uses electronic voting on a large scale. They're called EVMs, or electronic voting machines, and they're deployed all across India, even in hard-to-reach areas. Getting there by any means of transport, even if it means getting on a boat or an elephant. Here's how the EVM works. At the voting booth, the voter is directed towards the machine in privacy. They cast their vote by pressing the button indicating a party's symbol, and therefore the candidate of their choice. All parties have at different times cast suspicion on EVMs, saying they can be tampered with. And they often do this when they lose.
EVM, उसका नाम EVM नहीं है, उसका नाम MVM है, मतलब मोदी वोटिंग मशीन.
But the Election Commission and former election officials have said EVMs cannot be tampered with.
EVMs are foolproof devices for counting, and allegations of tampering are baseless.
And they are still in use. Technology is changing how the election game is played. Social media is now front and center, alongside the more traditional campaign methods. So yes, we will still see the massive political rallies we're used to, but parties are also spending a lot of time and energy reaching out to voters through Meta, WhatsApp, YouTube, X, and Instagram. Narendra Modi has millions of followers on his social media accounts. His main challenger in this fight is the Congress Party. The Congress is the major partner in a seemingly fragile new alliance. And the alliance has gone all in, bringing together a range of regional parties in a coalition to defeat the BJP. A coalition that says it is fighting for India's very soul. 53-year-old Rahul Gandhi is the top leader of the Indian National Congress, and he's at the helm of the alliance called I.N.D.I.A. Gandhi too has successfully used social media to corral millions of his supporters. Indian elections can be notoriously hard to predict, but most polls are giving the win comfortably to the BJP and Narendra Modi. Whoever wins will take charge of a $3.7 trillion economy, the fifth largest in the world. And this next term will be crucial, with the BJP saying it wants to make India the third largest economy in the world. So will it be the nationalist BJP flexing its electoral muscle again? Or can the new India alliance break its hold? The result will determine the makeup of a parliament that will chart the course for the country for the next 5 years.